Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to some more Starfield content on this channel, which will be the main game going forward. So if you like Starfield and you're excited for it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the little notification bell, because I will try to release 20 videos in the first 3 days of Starfield being out. That's how excited I am, that's how pumped I am. Hit the like button, leave a comment down below, tell me what you're thinking about Starfield. But first, let's talk about this video idea that I had about what mistakes not to make with Starfield leading up until the actual game being released. The big mistake that you don't want to make is not pre-installing your game ready for day one. This game is going to be humongous. I think it's 100 gigabytes on Xbox and even bigger on PC. I think 125 gigabytes. So if you have a slow internet or you don't have a wired connection, you want to start pre-installing it right now, because if you don't, you're going to be struggling on day one to get it downloaded, because I'm assuming that there's going to be so many people downloading from the store and the servers are just going to be a bit shaky, which might even take longer than you expect it to download a game of that substantial size. I have a 1 gigabyte internet download and it took me 40 minutes while it was hardwired on pre-install to get it going on Xbox. So make sure you don't miss out on pre-installing the game. Secondly, don't make the mistake of changing your time zone to try and play the game early. On screen right now, you can see the release time of the game is coincided across every single time zone. So whenever the game releases in the UK, it will also release in Australia, it will also release in America, it will also release in Africa. All across the world, it is absolutely synchronized, so everyone gets access to the game at the exact same time. Usually, in the case of a new released game, you can switch to New Zealand and get 24 hours early access, because obviously they are a day ahead of the rest of the world, but that will not work with this game, so don't even bother worrying about it. Just find out what your time is for your country and wait for the game to come out. Next up, let's talk a little bit about health. For someone who has played games all their life, been at pretty much every big game release at 1-2 o'clock in the morning for me in the UK, I have been incredibly unhealthy. Make sure you get sleep and a nap beforehand. Make sure you eat well. Make sure you have a lot of water, no sugary drinks, no energy drinks, or at least very few of those. Make sure you have a lot of water to keep you going and keep you hydrated, because especially for me as a 37-year-old man, it gets harder and harder on your body the older you get. So get in those healthy habits now. Make sure you sleep, rest, and be ready for this game. Make sure you have healthy-ish food. I'm not gonna say sit there eating a cucumber. Like, have healthy food around you as well as some junk food if you wish. But just make sure that you're going into this with a healthy mindset, because you don't want to start a game like this that you're absolutely excited for and loving for, and you're not in the healthiest place, because then you won't enjoy it and it might impact your experience, and you might think, oh, this game's not as good as I thought it was, but actually it's just because you haven't made very unhealthy choices. So do that, be healthy. Don't make the mistake of listening to leaked things, to people's reviews of the game, or anything of that nature. A game of this scale, a game of this kind, will only appeal to you on what you experience and what you want. So keep your expectations in check, because even though you're excited for it and the game looks incredible, it might not be exactly what you want. So just go into it with a nice little relaxed mind of, oh, this is a very cool game that I'm going to play, and I'm going to love playing it while I'm playing it. And just, you know, just let that vibe flow through you, instead of thinking, well, this guy told me that this game's incredible and you can do all this stuff and you can do all that stuff, but someone else told me all this stuff is really bad and all this stuff is really bad. It's just stress you don't need. So, you know, just don't make that mistake. Just go into it on your own calm terms and enjoy the game. I feel like I'm just trying to pad this out to 8 minutes, honestly. Trying to say as much as I can, but I do mean what I say. Don't get me wrong, I know it sounds a bit cheesy and a bit corny, but I do actually mean what I'm saying. And last but not least, this isn't prior to the game releasing. This is going to be a day one mistake that you may make. Now, I am not saying that people can't create their character in any way that they want to, but please remember that spending 5 hours in create a character on what your character looks like, you might not ever even see your character through the entire playthrough, because everything's mostly first person, and if there is third person aspects, how often are you really going to be looking at your face? I'm not saying don't attempt to make a character, but please if it's not for you, don't waste your time creating a character. Just do a very basic look of what you want and then get on with the game, because a lot of your time in character creation is also going to go into the backgrounds and the perks and the traits. So you could, you know, feasibly get through that in half an hour, or you could be in it for 4 hours trying to get the perfect character and the perfect this and the perfect that, and then you're just pretty much wasting time on day one when you could just be in the game absolutely destroying things and having a lot of fun, instead of in character creation being like moving a cheekbone for a centimeter to the side or something. You know, make a second character later on and then go really ham with the character creation. But in my opinion, I think it's best to make a character that looks fairly okay to what you want and what your expectations are, but don't spend too much time moving body parts around and cheekbones and eyebrows and hair and stuff. Just get it going and get into the game, because this game's going to be phenomenal. It's going to probably last years, and you're going to create multiple characters, and you can do that on another run, in my opinion. But I'm not going to clown on anyone who wants to do it. If you want to do it, definitely do it. But I just think it's a waste of time for a first time playthrough, in my opinion. But that's it. Those are the things I wanted to talk about very briefly. There's not much left to do in terms of content before the game comes out, but I thought this would just be a fun little thing. What else do you think would be a mistake to do before the game releases? Let me know down below. Hit the like button, all that stuff. Subscribe, blah, 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 do all that stuff. Thank you for watching. I've been easynow. You guys have been awesome.